Good morning to everyone. In today's video, I will be showing you my attempt at learning Japanese hiragana over a weekend. If you're not familiar with Japanese, hiragana is one of the 3 writing systems in the Japanese language, the other 2 being katakana and kanji. I don't know how to speak Japanese. I know a few phrases here and there, but before I even try learning some more phrases, I would really like to learn how to read and write, so usually people start with hiragana. Before we start, I just want to say thank you to LTL Flexi Classes for sponsoring this video and for supporting me in my journey of learning Japanese. LTL is a language school that originally started off teaching Mandarin, but they've since expanded to other classes like Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese. Flexi Classes are LTL's online language lessons, so you can book your classes depending on what fits your schedule, what fits your time zone. Right now they have this promotion going on where you can get 3 hours of free classes just for signing up for an account on their website. So that is 3 different classes that you can take online through Zoom, and you can choose whichever topic interests you and whichever language you want to learn. Also, I just want to mention that all opinions in this video are my own. This is my experience using their classes. If you want to check it out yourself, I will leave the link in the description and you can sign up for some free lessons. With the 3 hours of free lessons that I got for signing up, I decided to use 2 of them on the Hiragana Flexi classes. I signed up for a Friday class and a Sunday class with the goal of being able to read and write hiragana by the following Monday. This first class was all about pronunciation, and I never really learned Japanese before I tried this challenge. All I knew was how to count from 1 to 10 because I took karate classes in university, but other than that, I really don't know any Japanese going into this. This first lesson was my first time trying to pronounce the syllables, and it was also the first time I ever spoke to a native Japanese speaker. A, I, U, E, O, A, I, U, E, O, ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, sa, shi, su, se, so, ta, chi, tsu, te, to, na, ni, nu, ne, no, ha, hi, hu, fu, he, ho. Why is that one fu? Fu? Hu? Hu. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo, ya, yu, yo, ra, ri, ru, re, ro, wa, wo. Also, it's not wo, o, n. Akasata, na, ha, ma, ya, ra, la, wa, wa, neko, cat.
The skill, sleep sounds, can help you with that. Did you want to enable it?
Warui, anata, tomato. Sayonara. So I just finished my first Japanese lesson. It was very informative. I learned a lot about the proper pronunciation of the hiragana alphabet. I still need to work on pronouncing it correctly because I was trying to repeat what my teacher was saying, but she kept saying that I had an accent, but I couldn't hear what was different from what I was saying and what she was saying, so I need to keep practicing and listening to some recordings. I learned a few terms like kanojo means she, kare means he or him, warui means bad. The first thing I need to do is learn how to write all of this hiragana. I can start to pronounce it a little bit with the help of my teacher, but I still don't know how to recognize them or write any of the characters. So I will be spending the next day learning all of this, memorizing it, and then on Sunday I will have another hiragana lesson and hopefully test my ability to pronounce all of these characters and recognize them. It's Saturday now, so day 2 of trying to learn Japanese hiragana. 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 I don't know if I'm even pronouncing that right. After my class last night, I realized that that class was mainly focusing on pronunciation. It wasn't about reading or writing. So I was expected to already know how to read and write and recognize the characters, but I actually didn't know any of it, so I was reading the Romaji, but I think it was still very useful to learn the pronunciation before I dove into practicing writing all of the characters. I have this cute workbook that I got at my local Japanese dollar store. It has these really useful square spaces so that you can write each of the characters in them. And I already memorized the first 25 characters, so here, or the first 25, and I practiced some writing. I found this really useful video on YouTube that helped me learn the first 25. It's this one here by this channel, and yeah, it was super helpful. I was able to memorize the first 25 characters in around 3 hours, so I was able to fully recognize and be able to write them during that time. I tried practicing writing the first 25. I just kept writing over and over and over again, and that's how I got it into my head, but I don't know if I'm writing it 100% correctly because some of the fonts are kind of different, so then it looks like you write it a certain way, but then when you look at another font it looks a bit different. Maybe I'm being a little bit too picky with the writing, but I think you would be able to recognize what character I was writing. And then I have another 21 more to go. Alright, it's been around 5 hours since I started practicing the other 21 characters that I didn't learn yesterday night. So that includes everything from here to here. So I'm pretty comfortable writing all of these characters now. I just need to work on recognizing them faster and remembering their pronunciation as quickly as possible. I still hesitate a little bit, but to be fair, I only just started this 24 hours ago. So I think I've made a lot of progress so far. I'm pretty sure I can fill out the chart from memory, and I already have been practicing here on my iPad. I've been writing the chart out and pronouncing it as I go. But tomorrow I'll be doing a second class with another teacher. I think that's how the flexi classes work. They'll just have different teachers assigned to you, so you can't really choose who will be teaching you, but I think that'll be more interesting. Hear some different people and see how they teach. And tomorrow the lesson looks like it will be focusing more on pronunciation again. I could not pronounce or recognize any of this yesterday. It's really only been one day and I can already read all of this. This is O, well, maybe I can't pronounce it that well, but it's O, and this is Shi, this one is Yu, this one is Ku, this one is Me, this one is Ha, this one is, it has the extra little, what's it called, a handakuten? I think that's what it was. But this one, I'm not good with these ones yet, so tomorrow's lesson, I think we'll be learning more about the ones with these extra symbols, the handakuten and dakuten, and then I will just keep practicing pronouncing. Writing them is okay for me now. I just need to make the connection between the character and the pronunciation so that I can finally get started with learning how to speak Japanese. But for now, I'm just going to rest and hopefully let all of that new info sink in. こんにちは。
こんにちは。
私は Victoria です。
ビクトリアさんでいいですか？
はい。
はい。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。雪。
雪。はい。38番。
はい。よい。
はい。よい。
よい。
39番。
楽。リス。寝る。晴れ。風呂。泡。
泡。はい。
本。がきぐけこさちつぜぞだちつれどばびぶべお。
はい。
ぎゃぎゅぎょ。
はい。しゃ、しゅ、しょ。
しゃ、しゅ、しょ。じゃ、じゅ、じょ。にゃ、にゅ、にょ、みゃ、みゅ、みょ。
いますよ。ぞ。
きゅ。
きゅう。ピンポン。へ。
し。
はい。しです。4番です。ナンバー4。
食器。
食器。ナンバー7。
カッパ。
ナンバー8。
や。
や。ナンバー9。
にょ。ありがとうございます。
はい。ありがとうございます。
どういたしまして。
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 はい。
I finished my lesson a couple hours ago, so I've finished both of my hiragana lessons, and I learned about some of the other sounds that go along with the 46 characters that I learned yesterday. So there are these really handy charts in my notes that I have here, and it's all of the other sounds that are made with the tenten. I practice pronouncing these as well as these, which can be kind of tricky. Also yesterday when I was trying to read these as the warm-up, I realized this one is actually one of the combo characters, so it's not shi and yu separately. It's supposed to be a combo, so it's like shoot. And my teacher helped me with pronouncing all of these what's it called? Yo-on combination. So this is sho. And then all of these are grouped really nicely in this chart that has been super useful for helping me figure out how to practice writing them as well. So I'm just going to practice all of the combo characters. Once I practice that, I will have learned Japanese hiragana over the weekend, and then tomorrow is Monday, so I'm going to test myself to see how much info I retained and how much I can remember on the spot. Let's pretend I'm actually in a school setting and I have a big test tomorrow to test all of my hiragana, and I only had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to learn hiragana from zero, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I get at least a 90%. It's finally time to test myself to see if I can remember all of the hiragana characters that I learned over the weekend. I found this really useful kana quiz online. I'll leave a link in the description, and it can allow me to practice all of the hiragana that I learned, and includes the main ones, the ones with the dakuten, and also the combination ones, which I find a little bit more tricky because that's the most recent one I learned. I practiced the main ones. That's the one I learned on Friday evening and Saturday. I practiced that one the most, and then the dakuten ones I learned also on Saturday as well as Sunday, and then the combination one is the last one I learned, which was Sunday evening. So this one I don't have as much experience, but hopefully I can get a good mark on this quiz, and I'm gonna give myself like 10 minutes maybe. I think that's usually how long it took for my Mandarin quizzes when I was doing that in university. This one is more about recognizing the characters and then just writing the pronunciation with English characters, so the Romaji. So it's not really testing your writing, so I don't know how I can test that, but let's try this out. So this one is ji, nya, gi, ko, sha, zu, o, ya, sho, liu, 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 new, go, mya, la, piu, de, ga, kyo, u, biu, ja, sorry, ja, byo, so, ni, ti, i, u, ryo, ryo, ryo. This one's harder to pronounce. Ryo, kia, gu, ryo, o, hya, chu, 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 wa, yo, hi, pya, pya, ji, su, ya, yu, mo, le, shu, pa, a, hu, ge, ne, po, hyo, he, te, no, ho, mu, ria, ni, e, se, cho, jo, to, za, ma, hyu, nyo, gyu, jo, sa, e, me, ru, pyo, ju, ja. This one can also be spelled with a J, but I think this website keeps it at a D. Chi, cha, cha, tsu, bi, ya, shi, be, ba, pi, ka, fu, nu, shu. Oh, I already got this one. Okay, it's not. This one is cute. Cute. I do have trouble with the combo ones. And na, pe, ku, ze, ju, chi. This one is gi, bi, da, myo, ta, ke, ha. Wait, this is wo, ro, mi, zo, zu, zu. Okay. One wrong. Oh, not 100%. I got 99.07%. That's terrible. No, I'm kidding. I think that's pretty good. For my 2 days of learning hiragana, I was able to recognize everything and correct myself with the one I did get wrong. I just need to practice reading actual words and the pronunciation. I'm sure I have a really noticeable accent, so I think that can only be helped if I speak with a teacher more. But the next lesson with the Japanese flexi classes is katakana, so that's the whole other alphabet with the same pronunciations but just different ways of writing. So the only way I can practice more is just if I take the class again, or if I just practice on my own and watch some YouTube videos. And I'm pretty happy with being able to learn hiragana just over the weekend. It's kind of crazy that on Friday I had no idea how to read any characters at all. It was all just completely unknown to me. I couldn't read anything, and now I can at least recognize the characters. I can kind of read a few of the the Japanese Instagram accounts that I follow. Like, I can read what they're saying, but very slowly, and it's so cool now that a whole new world is opened up to me. I can understand a little bit. I think I'll keep practicing my writing with this booklet, but I also really like trying to write out the entire hiragana chart on my iPad. I just use Procreate and I use the Apple Pencil to do that. Somehow I can write better on an iPad than I can on paper, but I'll find a way to keep practicing and eventually learn some vocabulary, hopefully. And these flexi classes to me were more like a supplemental learning, or like having a tutor. And the cool thing about it was that all of these classes were one-on-one classes, like it was a private lesson. The Japanese flexi classes are pretty new, like they just started this program, so I got to have a teacher personally teach me Japanese, which is pretty cool. Eventually, I'm sure the classes will fill up. There are at most 6 seats to be filled for these classes, but because this isn't as well known to people yet, I got a private class, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, if you want to try this out as well, I have the links in the description. That was my experience learning Japanese hiragana over the weekend. I would say it went pretty smoothly, even though I did learn the reading and writing from a YouTube video and pretty much just self-learned how to recognize the characters. I think taking the pronunciation classes and being able to have the opportunity to speak with a native Japanese teacher was a really good experience. I'm excited to take more of their classes, so thanks again to LTL for supporting this video, and I am excited to continue learning Japanese. The next step for me would definitely be to learn katakana, but I'll see which weekend I can fit learning that in. And I'll continue practicing hiragana by reading, writing, and just scrolling through the Instagram accounts that I follow. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, and stay tuned for next time when I learn katakana.